Have you ever spent months studying English, but still felt like you weren't improving fast enough? Maybe you keep making the same mistakes, or you feel nervous every time you try to speak. Well, you're not alone. I've been there too. I made a lot of mistakes while learning English, and honestly, they slowed me down for years. But here's the good news. You don't have to repeat them. In this video, I'm going to share the biggest English learning mistakes I made so you don't have to. You'll learn what I did wrong, how I fixed it, and how you can avoid wasting time on the same things. Welcome to English Easy to Learn, the channel where English becomes simple, clear, and fun. Here, we break down real English lessons, tips, and mistakes in an easy, practical way so you can start speaking confidently and naturally. All right, let's get started. Here are the English learning mistakes I made so you can skip them and learn smarter. Mistake number 1. Trying to sound like a native speaker too soon. When I started learning English seriously, I was obsessed with sounding perfect. I wanted that American or British accent, and I spent hours copying YouTubers and movie characters. The problem? I was focusing on how I sounded instead of what I was saying. I'd get nervous speaking because I didn't want to make pronunciation mistakes. I'd correct myself in the middle of conversations, which made me sound robotic and unsure. Later, I realized nobody cares if your accent isn't perfect. What matters is clarity and confidence. So now, my advice is focus first on being understood, not on sounding native. Your natural accent is part of who you are. You can always work on pronunciation later, but fluency starts with communication, not imitation. Mistake number 2. Memorizing grammar instead of using it. Oh, grammar. I used to spend hours reading grammar books, making notes, and memorizing complicated rules about tenses, conditionals, and prepositions. But when it came time to actually speak, my mind went blank. I knew the rule, but I couldn't use it naturally. The truth is, grammar is important, but memorizing it doesn't mean you can use it. You need real practice, listening, reading, and speaking in context. What helped me most was learning grammar through examples. For instance, instead of studying present perfect tense as a rule, I'd watch short clips or read sentences that actually used it, like, "I've already seen that movie." Over time, it became automatic. So don't just memorize, practice in real life. Use grammar in sentences, not just in notebooks. Mistake number 3. Being afraid to make mistakes. This one held me back for years. I was so scared of making mistakes that I avoided speaking English altogether. I'd think, what if I say it wrong? What if people laugh? But the funny thing is, when I finally started speaking more, nobody laughed. People actually respected that I was trying. Mistakes are proof that you're learning. Think about how babies learn their first language. They make 1,000 mistakes before they get it right. English is no different. Every mistake is a step closer to fluency. Now, whenever I make an error, I just correct it and move on. It's not embarrassing anymore. It's progress. Mistake number 4. Studying vocabulary without context. I used to have this big notebook full of English words. I'd write lists, 20 or 30 new words every day, and try to memorize them. Guess what? I forgot most of them after a few days. The problem was that I learned words alone without sentences or real-life examples. So instead of learning to improve by itself, it's better to learn it in a phrase like to improve your English skills. That's how your brain remembers it naturally, as a pattern, not as an isolated word. Try reading or watching something you enjoy, a podcast, a YouTube video, a book, and pay attention to how words are actually used. Write down phrases, not just single words. You'll remember them much better. Mistake number 5. Comparing myself to others. This is one of the most common mistakes among learners. I used to compare myself to people who spoke better English, my classmates, online teachers, or native speakers. I'd think, I'll never be that good. But here's what I learned. Comparing doesn't help you learn faster. It just makes you feel worse. Everyone learns at a different pace. Some people are great at pronunciation, Others are better at writing or listening. The only person you should compare yourself to is you from yesterday. If you spoke one new sentence today or learned one new word, you've improved. That's progress, and that's what matters. Mistake number 6, ignoring listening practice. For a long time, I focused on reading and writing, but ignored listening. I thought listening would just happen naturally over time. It didn't. When I watched movies or listened to songs, I couldn't understand much. That's when I realized listening is a skill, and you have to train it. What really helped me was active listening, watching videos with subtitles first, then without. I'd listen to short clips multiple times, repeating after the speaker. Slowly, I started recognizing patterns, accents, and intonation. So don't skip listening practice. Listen to podcasts, short stories, news, or even your favorite shows in English every day. You'll be surprised how much faster your speaking improves too. Mistake number 7, not speaking enough. Here's a hard truth. You can't learn to speak English by only studying it. You have to actually speak. And no, talking to yourself doesn't make you crazy. It's actually one of the best ways to practice. At first, I was shy. I didn't have anyone to talk to, so I'd describe my day to myself, record my voice, and practice short dialogues. It felt strange at first, but it really worked. Later, I found language partners online, joined English groups, and even practiced speaking to AI tools. The more I spoke, the more confident I became. So don't wait until you're ready. You'll never feel completely ready. Just start speaking today. Mistake number 8, not enjoying the process. When I treated English like a school subject, I got bored fast. But when I started using it to explore things I loved, music, travel, technology, learning became fun. If you love cooking, watch cooking videos in English. If you like sports, read articles or watch interviews about your favorite teams. English shouldn't feel like homework. It should be a tool that connects you to the world. The more you enjoy it, the faster you'll learn. So, those were the biggest mistakes I made when learning English, and I hope you can avoid them. Remember, don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. Practice every day, even a little bit. Celebrate your small wins. Fluency doesn't come overnight, but if you stay consistent and curious, you'll get there, I promise. If you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to English Easy to Learn, and share it with someone who's also learning English. And let me know in the comments, what's one English learning mistake you've made? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.